Hi guys, this is Dr. Tammy Stewart here from PT2Excel in Yelm, Washington to talk about using the massage gun for hip mobility before or after a workout in particular, but really any time is great. So I like to do this in standing because our hips bother us when we're standing, walking, squatting, etc. That's all upright. So I like to turn it on, put my hand on the back of a chair for balance if I need it, and I'm just going on the outside of my hip. Now, I'll get a little closer so you can see. So if you feel the knobby part of the hip right there, it's kind of a little pokey bone, I'm going around that in sort of like a rainbow type of situation, that shape. Now, I can also go on the front of my hip. I recommend doing all of it. The back of the hip is just the meaty part of the buttocks, so all of it's good. But let's add movement with this. Let's really get things moving because you want that tissue to be elastic in a shortened position and a lengthened position and be able to transition from one to the other. So I like to add a little bit of marching here. And as high as you want to go, you know, when you're up here, the back of the hip is really stretched. So that's a great place to concentrate there. When you're here, if you go extend your hip past that standing up straight, that neutral position, then you can really get into the front of the hip. And you can go from the front to the back as you do that. It takes a little bit of coordination, but I've got faith in you. Now also, I like to rotate. So standing and twisting side to side. This is a great way, whoop, see, and I needed a little assistance there for my balance. So, great way to get the side of the hip. So I'm twisting inwards, that's rotating my hip externally. I'm twisting outwards with my foot, that's rotating my hip internally. And I'm going right around the side, just like I showed you with that rainbow position, with all of those movements. You can also just walk with it. You know, walking forward, walking backward. My left hip is getting real jealous right now because my right hip feels so loosey-goosey. So you just switch sides, do both. Walk backwards. You know, up and back. Make sure you're concentrating on the back at points, the side at points, the front at points, you know, whatever works for you. You know, and if you're like, oh man, that's really where I need it, right on the side there between the pelvis and that little knobby part of my bone. Man, that rotation is really nice, but I feel like maybe it's not quite getting it. You can swing your leg across and swing it out and swing it across. There's no wrong movement here. You're just looking to get movement while you're using the massage gun. Some people might be a little ticklish with this. Some people might be like tender ticklish, where it's like, is it tender? Is it ticklish? I can't quite tell. So, you know, you're just going through your range of motion, lubricating the hip joint, but also working the muscles in all of their glory, in all of their normal ranges of motion. So that is how you use the massage gun for hip mobility, especially if you're feeling like those hips are wicked tight and you just really need them to loosen up and like all of your stretching is not getting it, foam rolling's not getting it, the lacrosse ball leaning up against it or laying on it's not getting it. This is a great tool to get in really deep for both the muscles and the joint mobility. So give that a try, see how you feel, and like, comment, subscribe, follow us. We'd love to hear from you. So hope you've enjoyed this video and we'll see you next time.